Welcome to your favorite program, The Power Circuits, from the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. This program keeps you informed about the operations of TCN and the role it plays in managing the national electricity grid. Here are the headlines of the stories lined up in this edition. Federal government seeks support to enforce electrical standards. TCN constitutes anti-corruption unit to improve transparency. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, recently executed the annual maintenance of a 60 MVA power transformer at the 132-33 kV Suleja Power Transmission Substation in Niger State. The Power Circuit crew spoke with the in-house engineers that executed this exercise. Watch out for more in this edition. Please stay with us as we promise to deliver an exciting and informative package for your viewing delight. My name is Amara Agogoesi, and this is The Power Circuit. The federal government stays with collaboration from lawmakers, the judiciary, and other stakeholders. The Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, NEMSA, will be better positioned to enforce electrical standards to improve electricity supply services. The Minister of State for Power, Mr. Godijedi Abba, stated this at a roundtable meeting on the enforcement of technical standards and regulations, mandates, roles and responsibilities of NEMSA in the power sector.
Mr. Jedi Agba said it has been observed that NEMSA's attempt to enforce these standards have met with resistance on some occasions, which is attributed to lack of adequate knowledge about the agency.
At the end of this session, we will be able to have clear pathway on what the law is regarding NEMSA's role and functions, and it will guide activities of NEMSA going forward. The
minister stated that the need to sensitize and improve upon the awareness of relevant stakeholders, particularly the legislative and judicial arms of government, has become imperative, as their cooperation will play an important role in enhancing the effective delivery of NEMSA's mandates. The Managing Director of NEMSA, Engineer Peter Eweso, in a presentation of NEMSA's activities, said there are issues of poor electrical equipment and substandard electrical materials, and this is what NEMSA stands to tackle through the enforcement.
All this is just to ensure that when the Electricity Act comes out, everybody will have complete and distinct rules to play, unhindered, without any ambiguity, without anything that you need to worry about.
Chairman Senate Committee on Power, Senator Gabriel Suzwan, also spoke about the issues of the power sector, including the review of the Electrical Power Sector Reform Act EPSR 2005.
New issues have arisen from those private entities that have been taken over by private companies. And so those issues need to be addressed in the Electricity Act. We intend to pass the act possibly, if not end of this year, first quarter of next year.
To improve transparency and accountability culture, the management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has raised a 10-man anti-corruption and transparency unit, ACTU. The acting managing director and CEO of TCN, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, during the inauguration of the ACTU members in Abuja, said this will cut down operational costs and ensure transparency in TCN's role of transmitting bulk power.
Speaking further, Engineer Abdulaziz said corruption often increases the cost of governance and doing business while creating an atmosphere of insecurity.
Corruption as we know it today boldly covers all forms of abuse of office for private gain. In any form, corruption increases cost of doing business, undermines revenue generating capacity, weakens fiscal regimes, discourages foreign investment, breeds distrust between government organizations and their customers, as well as put credibility at stake. Corruption equally increases the cost of governance, celebrates mediocrity, discourages creativity, and creates an atmosphere of uncertainty and insecurity.
Engineer Abdulaziz said there was need to join hands to fight corruption in the country.
No matter how we look at corruption, it is not ethical, and we must all rise to the challenge of fighting it by saying no to any form of corruption practice. It is in this response to the need to fight corruption, the federal government established the ACTU, which is mini ICPC in the federal ministries, departments, and agencies, through circular number OHCSF MSO 192/94 of 2nd October 2001. This clearly shows that government is really interested in the activities of ACTU, and members of this committee must understand this and take their assignment seriously.
The TCN head also highlighted the roles expected of the anti-graft unit of TCN and must therefore believe in the struggle with keen interest in unit success. Engineer Abdulaziz assured the members of support from the TCN management, noting that the unit could not have come at a better time than now.
More than ever before, this is the time to say no to corruption and embrace right processes that will help reposition the industry towards achieving set goals and objectives. May I assure you that TCN management, on its part, will do everything within its power to support the effort of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit of TCN to enable it to perform optimally. I therefore urge you all to blow the whistle when you are sure an act of corruption has been observed and follow the appropriate steps to investigate the issue. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the fight against corruption is a collective effort and cannot be left to the committee entirely. I therefore urge everyone to join hands with the committee to ensure that corruption in any form in TCN become a thing of the past. I appreciate ICPC effort and their doggedness in the fight against corruption. Their presence here this morning is a clear testimony of their commitment to this crusade. I must commend the cordial working relationship between TCN and ICPC and hope that we will continue to be united in the fight against corruption. On this note, I heartily congratulate every member of the TCN ACTU committee. Thank you very much.
Chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasunoye, represented at the event by ICPC Director of System Study and Review Department, Mr. Demola Bakari, said the unit is an initiative of ICPC to curb corruption across ministries, departments, and agencies.
In view of the important role this organization plays in the power sector, it is expected that the staff of the organization will display high level of professionalism and integrity in the discharge of their duties. The Act 2 will assist management in promoting these principles if it is allowed to effectively discharge its duties, which include conducting system studies and review of processes and procedures of the organization with a view to making appropriate recommendations to block corruption loopholes, to conduct continuous sensitization of staff on and against the ills of corruption, to develop and implement code of ethics, to monitor budget implementation of the company, to implement the ethics and integrity compliance scorecard, and undertake preliminary investigations into complaints received, amongst others.
He, however, stated that the unit is to complement the work of the TCN management.
May I, however, state clearly that the Act 2 is not set up as a parallel authority to the management. Rather, they are to work closely with the management to build a reputable organization. I would therefore like to solicit management support in ensuring that the unit is given an enabling environment to carry out its duties.
Members of the committee comprising the Act 2 TCN chairman, Mr. Isa Lawal Mohammed, Mr. O.C. Ochije, Dahiru Gabdo, Ndidimba, Abdullahi Balarebe, Adetola E.O., Bashir Hassan, Mohammed Adama, Abba Godfrey, and Okoro Raymond were inaugurated after they pledged their allegiance to working for the units.
Do solemnly swear or affirm that as a member of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit of will display high levels of personal integrity and accountability in all my undertakings, that I will to the best of my ability take necessary lawful steps to curb corrupt practices and mobilize others to join the crusade against corruption. So help me. Thank you very much.
Acting Chairman at TCN, Issa Lawal Mohammed, pledged the members' commitment to the cause.
The TCN Actu will certainly work with management and staff of TCN in various ways to enable it achieve its goal. We cannot entrench a system that is corruption-free without necessary cooperation, and I believe I am speaking to men and women who subscribe to the idea that corruption has negative consequences to the development of TCN and our dear country as a whole.
He lauded the management of TCN led by the acting managing director for the confidence reposed in the members for the anti-corruption role.
I want to thank the MD CEO and the management of TCN for the trust reposed in us, and will do our best to succeed to bring TCN to enviable status of dignity and honor through the promotion of transparency, probity, accountability, integrity in our dealing with the company and with our external contacts.
The power circuit continues after this break.
Do not build under transmission power lines for your safety and health. Electricity power lines and substations, either for power transmission or power distribution services, are extremely dangerous when exposed to direct human contact. These power lines and substations transmit electricity that lights up our homes and offices, power our computers, TVs, and refrigerators. On the other hand, the same electricity when exposed is extremely dangerous. It can shock, electrocute, and kill anyone on its way. That is why everyone must adopt safety measures whenever we use or are close to electricity facilities like power lines or substation or transformers. For the safety of the people and animals, governments all over the world have approved way leave or right-of-way of 50 meters for 330 kV power lines and 30 meters for 132 kV power lines, and for 33 kV lines the way leave is 15 meters. People are not expected to be found within this way leave or right-of-way for safety reasons. The lines can suddenly cut and fall to the ground with very disastrous consequences such as fire and electrocution of anybody and destruction of anything, be it vehicle, houses, or vegetation on its line. It has also been established that power lines and substation emit electromagnetic fields, EMF, which is dangerous to human health. The World Health Organization, WHO, has warned that people who spend long hours under or close high-tension lines stand the risk of being affected by EMF and be vulnerable to cancer, leukemia in children, miscarriages among pregnant women, and other terrible diseases. It is therefore advisable not to build any structure or operate any business under or near any electricity high-tension lines or substations. TCN wants you to stay alive, stay safe, stay healthy, avoid power lines. This message is from the management of Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has sustained its proactive maintenance of power transmission substations and transmission lines towards delivering efficient bulk electricity from the power generation companies to distribution load centers nationwide for onward supply to consumers. Using its in-house engineers, TCN recently executed an annual maintenance of a 60 MVA power transformer at the 132-33 kilovolts Suleja Power Transmission Substation in Niger State. The in-house engineers of TCN who took part in the exercise extensively spoke with the power circuit team about the maintenance process.
The Assistant General Manager Transmission at the Gwagwalada sub-region of the Abuja Transmission Region of TCN, Engineer A.D. Ismail, in an interview said the maintenance of a power transformer helps to promote its lifespan and putting it in the best condition for premium performance.
The capacity of the transformer is 60 MVA. Yeah. Mostly we plan to be maintaining the equipment like this transformer annually, except where necessary we do it twice in a year. And the purpose of this routine maintenance is that you know that for every equipment, even the movable equipment and static equipment like transformer, during usage it is bound to be subjected to stresses like mechanical stress and what have you. So during the load transfer, power transformation, the transformer is being subjected to stress. During that, it has some expansion and contraction, and then the insulation of the equipment is being subjected to stress due to the trippings and what have you, the nature of the faults that is associated with that type of transformer at the downstream. That's maybe why the consumers are having. So it's sending some manu signals that has some effects on our equipment. So as a result of tripping of arc fault, overcurrent, glucose, and what have you, so the equipment is being stressed. So that so because of this stress, we always want to find out that our equipment are in good working condition. So to make sure that we reset the transformer or the equipment back to the speed that it can work perfectly as expected. That's why we embark on, from time to time, check the equipment, the sound condition of that equipment.
The Assistant General Manager Transmission spoke about the procedures of the maintenance and exercise and the units involved.
We have linesmen here that will help us disconnect the whole transformer. When the system operation disconnect the transformer by the breaker and what have you, they will hand it over to the maintenance people. A linesman is first of all going to disconnect the overhead conductors, and then the main department, PCM and electrical will go up and check the leakages, and then when it is for every equipment like this one that contains oil, there is pressure inside, so and it is sealed with a rubber seal, and sometimes with the gasket. So this gasket can at times be expired because of the heat. So some going to have to check whether they are still okay. If they are not okay, there is manual leakage, we replace them.
As part of the challenge in ensuring a successful maintenance exercise, Engineer Ismail said the maintenance crew would have to plan in such a way that the weather does not affect the equipment being maintained.
We ourselves, we have to plan our maintenance not to maybe be interrupted by weather, So we have to make sure that all the transformers, we don't want to expose our transformers during a raining period, so that moisture air can react with the transformer oil. Then we'll reduce the breakdown or the insulation material of our transformer oil. So we have to make sure that within a year, wherever we find ourselves, whether in maybe down south or here, so we have to see when is our rain period setting in. If we start by maybe June or July, we make sure that all maintenance are carried out for that time.
The Senior Manager, Protection, Control and Metering at the Gwagwalada sub-region of TCN, Engineer Lado Tunfarunkoju, also shared his experience of the job.
It's an annual preventive maintenance exercise. It's a routine exercise, and so this is the one for this year. This will ensure that our protective relays are guaranteed to protect our devices for the next 1 year to come. We don't have any challenges. We expect their expected values for our relays, and we inject them. When they operate, then we are okay. We write a report. But should we have a situation where they are not functional, then we write a report as well and forward it to the appropriate authorities.
A senior manager operations at the Suleja Power Transmission Substation of TCN, Engineer Yewole Olayiwola, said there are crucial steps that allow for maximum safety of the crew when the maintenance is done.
My own obligation as an operator is to safeguard both the equipments and the personalities and the personnel that is going to work on that equipment. So when they come, so they have already applied to us, so the application has been sent to our area control. So the area control, having make a plan on that application, we send to them. So we now have to call them back to seek for approvals. So that approvals based on their planning. So if they are okay with it, they now apply for us. When they apply, so we now go ahead and take out the transformer. So as an operator, so immediately I get an approval from them, so I now take out my transformer. But first, before I take out the transformer, after getting approval from NCC, I have to inform our colleague in AEDC. You know, they are the custodians of all this equipment, because we have some of the 33 kV equipments on that transformers. So we have to inform them, so area, so feeder will be out for so reasons. So that is the maintenance. So we now inform them. So though we have already informed them, but it's just a reminder now. We are now giving them that we have been given approval through our area control. So for them to now remind their stakeholders as well. So having informing them, so we now go ahead and now take out the 33 kV feeders on that equipment, that's the transformers. Then we take out the transformer and now isolate it for them, so that the maintenance man will be able to work perfectly without any hazard.
On his part, the Assistant Manager Electrical Maintenance Departments at Gwagwalada Sub-Region of TCN, Engineer John Obeka, spoke about the expectations of his sound equipment as the maintenance crew completed the exercise executed at the Suleja Power Transmission Substation.
When you service the transformer, you are prolonging the lifespan, and also for the effectiveness of the transformer as well. I don't think we have any other challenge. We have any challenge. We don't have any challenge. Yes. All that we need, our equipment, we have it. What we demand, we requested for, have been provided to us by the management of TCN, such as the oil, the transformer oil, and the other equipment that we need. We have them.
It's a wrap for this edition. Here's a recast of the headlines. Federal government seeks support to enforce electrical standards. TCN constitutes anti-corruption unit to improve transparency. And for the field works, the in-house engineers of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, who led the maintenance exercise for a 60 MVA power transformer at the 132-33 kilovolts Suleja Power Transmission Substation in Niger State recently, shared their views on the process. Thank you always, our viewer, for being a part of the power circuit. This episode and others are readily accessible with just a click on the TCN YouTube channel. Keep supporting TCN through these platforms so that together the company can deliver more on milestones in delivering bulk electricity for improved power consumer experience. Kindly follow the coronavirus prevention protocol as TCN cares. Thanks for watching. I am Amara Agugoisi.